This is Nikki. I just wanted to show off the decks I found. I found a bunch of my old cards. So here my first Yu-Gi-Oh deck. We see we have the three gods plus an extra obelisk. We have the Sphinxes and of course the Pyramid of Light. Two Pots of Greed, two Monster Reborns. Yeah, this deck just went from trash to broken. Change of Heart, Jinzo, Nobleman Cross Out. I don't know why we have these trash cards in here, but okay. Raigeki, some Dark Holes, more Trap Holes. Is there even... Was that... Oh, no, that's only 3 Trap Holes, thank goodness. Mirror Force, Lady Assailant of Flames, Harpy Lady 1. Another Change of Heart, another Monster Reborn, Nobleman of Crossout, another Swords, Graceful Charity, Torrential Tribute, Maneater Bug, alright. And another Guardian of the Throne Room. Just the most unnecessary, okay. So a lot of my cards got kind of mixed up by some other people, so that could be a fun deck to play with, or not. I have no idea. I'm guessing if I were to try to make that deck work, I would... I mean, I guess the main strategy seems to be get things into the graveyard somehow, and then Monster Reborn them. And realistically, you're not going to be able to get your own god cards into the graveyard, so you probably have to use Monster Reborn on your opponent's cards, you Trap Hole, and then Tribute Summon your god card. And real pain. Anyway, next up we have Exodia, featuring all of his pieces, of course. Inferno Tempest, because you're going to take a lot of damage. Legendary Exodia Incarnate, Contract with Exodia, I bet you know what's coming up. More Dark Holes. You know, these are physical cards. I don't know why I have so many Dark Holes. Obliterate. I love that they made cards like that. More Changes of Heart. Something Hieroglyph Lithograph to let you build up your hand more. Could be useful. And then a bunch of luck-based cards because, well, you're playing an Exodia deck. I guess you're already well and going on luck. Except I think you're supposed to play Solitaire and not Roulette with Exodia. I always prefer Roulette mode. Anyway, my preferred deck with 3 Dark Magician Girl, Yami. I like Dark Magician with Dark Magic Attack. Magicians Unite, 1,000 Knives. The Tricky. Dark Burning Magic. Those of you trying to follow along, if you're like, I'll leave. If you're expecting this box at some point, you're correct. That box, I use those more or less as the bases for these decks because, well, for one, until I got that, I had no modern Yu-Gi-Oh cards, really. These rubber bands all broke. That's gonna be fun to put back together. Oh well. So this next deck I don't actually know what's coming up, but it looks like it's a Destiny board deck. Oh, with Labyrinth Wall, of course, Sanctuary. Okay, this deck, it probably suck in the current meta, but given the cards that you've seen in the other decks, you could probably imagine why an all-high defense deck would actually be fairly decent. Right? It's hard to actually ever get anything off on this, but unless it fell out, did I miss? No, Castle's Dark Illusions. Just make sure the flotation ring doesn't get knocked off. The Wall of Illusion, which always seemed like a letdown, why it was like better. It's like the wall alone lets you send something back to your opponents. Okay, so I don't have the level limiter card anymore, at least not in this deck. That's not the best sign. So the next cards, it looks like, are no longer Yu-Gi-Oh! And I just have an assortment of Pokemon cards. So here's all those. Gladius. And then on this ain't illegal. This ain't remotely legal. I spent so much time. I mean, none of these cards are right now. It took me a second to realize this is not in English. That's why he's Grollo. Staros. Yeah, I think these are just. This is just my undecked Pokemon cards, which, you know, there's Onyx versus Broxonix. Diglett. So, fun thing, I used to think this was like a mountain, and I was like, wow, that's a really big Diglett. And I'm like, wait, like this past week, I'm like, wait, those are flowers? So, maybe I ain't that big a Diglett. It's actually a normal sized Diglett. It's just they zoomed in. Also, Misty's Tentacruel always look really weird to me. I don't know why. Okay, so that ends that section of my chest of cards. Okay, so next Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Opens up in the extra deck. This one actually has an extra deck. It's Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And then I have, and Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. Which actually I do run Azure Eyes in my actual, I mean it's a dual link stack, so I guess it's not actual. Nice Shining. You can see Protector with Eyes of Blue, that one's actually good. King of the Swamp, and White Stone of Ancients, actually pretty decent. Burst from Destruction. Oh, First of the Dragons, another extra deck. Kidmodo Dragon, I love that one. It's another one that just lets you get Blue Eyes out on the field. I mean, that one lets you do other things, but Kaiba Man. It lets you get Blue Eyes out on the field. Dragon Spirit of White counts as a Blue Eyes, lets you get Blue Eyes out on the field. Maiden of Eyes of Blue lets you get Blue Eyes out on the field. Holy wow. One of my decks has some synergy. Scapegoat. Magic Cylinder, Beacon Away. I love Magic Cylinder. I should probably have more than 2 polymerizations in that deck, but that's fine. So the whole strategy with that deck is summon Blue Eyes, and then if you still need to do more things, I don't know, get good. Shit. All my bands are breaking. Okay, I'm just going to open up the chest because it has new bands. Makes sense, the bands are breaking. They've been operating for years. So now Blue Eyes deck has a new card, and you all get to look at my electronic drum set for another second here. Dark Magician needs rebanding. Even the new bands are breaking though, so maybe it won't be rebanding as much as I hoped. That's fine. I'm in the middle of recording. I don't know why I'm banding. I hope I actually, take the 5 minutes it takes to edit this instead of just sharing the raw video file everywhere. Otherwise, you're gonna have it's kind of awkward just leaving this in. The part where I mentioned that I meant to do more. Okay, so next segment. This might actually be multiple decks. This is the fun of me recording these things. I don't know if I'm actually going to enjoy this. I don't know if I'm actually going to post it. If anything, it might just be a video diary for me. Oh shit. The card sorter got smaller. Okay, that makes sense. Looking at... Oh, let me share it with you. Heart of Clearwater, Dark Hole... What's Heart of Clearwater? It's a low level equip. Okay, I can't put tokens in the deck. But this looks like low-level beatdown. Buster Rancher, yeah, this is a low-level beatdown. Dream Clown, I love Dream Clown. Elemental Hero Neos. I really appears that's a legit card. This isn't even a machine deck. Why is there a Machine King in there? Okay. I'm not actually sure if that's even supposed to be a deck. It wasn't banded, so, and it's way more than 40 cards, so maybe not. I'll leave it as banded. See what else comes up in as I go through the rest of these. Got one more section of unbanded Yu-Gi-Ohs, I think. Oh, hell yeah. It's the Seal with Orichalcos, Fiend Skull Dragon. Oh, here's Gravity Bind, the level limiter. Right, this one made sense because you plop down the seal, you plop down the level limiter, or Gravity Bind, and it's not the most synergistic thing. Raging Flame, Spirit, Hayabusa Knight, Shelvin Sword, Ultimate Offering. I mean, it's not the worst synergy. It's more than just a good stuff deck. These are tokens, Mahavilo. That probably should be in the deck with all the freaking equipment. Okay, there's some equipment for Mahavilo, I guess. Right, you plop one Axe of Despair on him, and he's doing 30-50. Plop a Theory, Meteor Crush. He's doing piercing damage to pretty much anything in the game. He does have his own equipment. That was like a really... That strategy was in... I want to say Shonen Jump magazine, and well, they were giving away a copy of Pokemon Stadium 2 in that issue, so the strategy might be outdated. So in the next segment, don't know what I'm actually getting to. Okay, I don't... Dolphins Kids Club 98. I don't even know how these work. And then this is the Blair Witch Project. And now I'm on to some Magic the Gathering cards. I've never played Magic, so I have no idea what kind of cards I have. Maybe someone watching this will look at this and be like, oh, all of your cards are... And they're either going to be like, it's probably just trash, let's be wrong, but I might have something. I might, I have the Lumen Grid Warden. That doesn't sound very good. Shock. Deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Is burn damage good in Magic? I don't know. I heard it's harder to get battle damage in Magic. I haven't played Magic. I want to play Magic, especially now that I look at these effects and, compare them to most of the effects in contemporary Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's like, oh, thank God, the cards just do one thing. I was a little worried about the land system, apparently. Just like, oh, you have to have mana to do stuff on your turn. I'm like, oh, this is like elements. Or more less anachronistically, I guess, elements is like Magic. It's hard to say, though, like, what makes a TCG at this point count as being like Magic, since it was, so early on and influenced us everything, so it's like, okay, well, which TCGs are not like Magic? I think this is supposed to be a deck. Actually, no, it's probably, well, okay, it has some Swamp. It could not be a... it's probably too short to be a deck. Afflict looks cool. It gives you draw power. Is draw power something you care about in Magic? If there were a video game version, I'd be all over it. Okay, so coming up next we have what looks like a fighting water deck. This has shifted entirely from Yu-Gi-Oh! On to Pokemon now. Is that... the Falcio Mysterioso. That's the only way in this deck to get the fossil cards out, so love having the multilingual Pokemon cards. I was kind of sad at first because I was like 6 or 7 and I didn't realize what I had gotten myself into when I got packs, and every pack was in a different language. And it ended up being kind of, I mean, in the long run, it was really cool. Like having all those. I kind of wish I'd gotten more. Like once I was like way too old for them to still, like once enough time had passed, it's like, oh man, that was, if only I wasn't a child. Oh well, here's my colorless deck, which I have, you know, Wigglytuff lets me do the wave, or I'm not gonna try and guess that. I'm too double focused to try and figure out which language it is, and then also pronounce things in that language correctly. It's also the problem with learning multiple languages. You know, you think you're ooh. Apparently, this kind of card has special features. I didn't know that. Apparently, this card is basically just Pot of Greed with Pokemon. Why is there... Oh, it's another Wigglytuff. This one can expand. And it's cute. Oh, and it looks like it's a fairy type. There are fairy types in this game now. Yeah, if you're wondering how I'm, like, astonished by this, but also know what it is instantly, it's like I play the video games, and I'm not unfamiliar with fairy types. I just didn't expect to see one there. Okay, and then last here, just want to go through the Yu-Gi-Oh! Chest, because why not? See what cool shit I got. Blazewing, Butterfly, Gemini Summoner, Gearfried the Iron Knight, Blue Flame Swordsman, Ali, you know, a bunch of generics, interplanetary purple thorny beast. That actually sounds like it could be a cool one if I ever do a deck that's relevant to it. Shit, this is getting long enough. I'm starting to, like, not want to edit it, but I already said in the video I'd edit it. Lots of traps. Invasion of Flames. When this card is normal summoned successfully, no trap cards can be activated. Thank you, Invasion of Flames. Thank you. Allosaurus, Doomdozer. Doomdozer used to be a fun one. Lesser Fiend. Like, some of these were Antahime was a good one. These. Okay, Hoshin was always terrible. Dark Necrofear was good. Good. Dark Death Spirit was like my boss monster for a good while. Back when banishing cards was still relatively new and OP. I like Blockman. I've never used Blockman, but I like Blockman. Some Gorgonix. More interplanetary stuff. An Ancient Lamp, which came out way too late for it to actually help Legend that much. Book of Life, Ixie Reversal, which maybe I'll actually use now that I understand Ixie summoning. You'd think it wouldn't be that hard to figure out. It isn't. I think it's literally just coming in after a couple of years and being like, wow, this is very fast. Amazon's Paladin, which, yeah, the game did speed up a lot, and that kind of also changes things as much as if you were playing because you liked the tempo, or, yeah, the tempo of at least the original anime series, then you're probably going to prefer the original meta, or even just, you know, the playground games, because, right, if you're playing contemporary with like the high speed, like, just trying to avoid no TK, and yeah, you're not gonna have that long drawn out thing, but also you probably don't want to play like the actual game or the competitive scene much anyhow, because you don't want to, like half of the show is just talking about shit, and like, yeah, it could be fun to be really dramatic and get into it. But then the people who want to play seriously are just like, no, let's it can be like as etiquette heavy as like a fucking chess match, and which, right, like, I don't know, I don't like that, like, silent ass, timed ass format. Like, I am way more interested in top decking something by force of will than having a good strategy with consistent draw. I don't man, I just wanna... Oh, here's Pet in the Dark Clown. There's Burning Algae, like the worst fucking card. When it is sent to the graveyard, increase your opponent's life card by 1,000. Okay, this is actually definitely worse. But I spent so long when I got the... Oh, Vampire Genesis. I don't know why I traded for this, but it was a lot. Back when trades were a thing. Why was here a thing? Trading is a legitimately fun activity. Going on eBay and buying a deck is not a fun activity. It looks like I actually have most of my Magic and Trap cards alphabetized in my chest. That's kind of cool, so now I can flip right through. And the fake trap. This was better in Shin Duel Monsters. The Kunai with Chain. The Major Riot. The Micro Ray. The Non-Aggression Area. The No Flex Zone. The Reckless Greed. The Physical Double. The Regeki Break. The Reinforcements. The Reinforcements. The Reinforcements. The Reinforcements. The Snake Fang. Spell of Purification. And other shit. Now I know what you're thinking. I don't. Why would I possibly know what you're thinking? So I think here's where we get to the cards that I never actually learned if I care about. Like the Ice Princess 04, which is an Ixie Wing Beast. You can attach material and target. And this actually looks pretty decent. And the Googly Eyes Drum Dragon. If I can get 2 level 8 machine monsters out here. Oh, this one looks like it's decent. And then this is the Feral Imp. If you want to nail it down. Is there anything else interesting here? I really don't actually. I just dropped half of them, so now we're out of order. They're me. I always think your hands are able to handle more than they are. It's like, well, I can hold this much, and then it's like, well, can you rifle through the cards while holding them in front of the camera? And I was like, now I usually look at my hands when I do stuff with them. I don't know how this works if I can't look at my hands. So, wow, that was an easy takedown. So here I have the first sarcophagus. I'm guessing there's others, but they're not here. And then I have Performapals. That Performapal Trump Girl. I don't want a Trump Girl. They're pendulums, which, yeah, I don't know how pendulums work, and I'm not gonna find out right now. That's synchros. I figured those out. Those aren't that hard. I played against a pendulum deck, or maybe it was a Crystal Beast deck. Maybe those are pendulum decks. Tune decks. Those make sense. Though, good God, can you see why I would want to switch to Magic after? Why? I mean, honestly, why? I miss the flavor text, right? Like Swordstalker. A monster formed by the vengeful souls of those who passed away in battle. I can see why they were willing to throw that out. That really wasn't... Gaias. So many Gaias. I am very ready for this new Gaia-centric meta. Alligator Sword Dragon, which doesn't seem worth it. Especially because of the way the card's text resolves. It says if the only face-up monsters they control are Earth, Water, or Fire. Which would be great if that meant this could still attack face down if they had no face-up monsters. But it doesn't. So if they put something in face down defense position and you're thwarted. Here's a bunch of questionable fusion summons. I don't even know what this card is. I thought it was Chaos Emperor Dragon Envoy at the end, but those attack points. My camera's not doing great, maybe? Oh, yeah, there. The attack points at 1700. That's not Chaos Emperor Dragon. Is that the item? I don't know what card this is. I'm a little unsure on this one, too. I'm gonna go out on a limb and think this is probably Grave Robber. And this one is Alligator Sword. So that's my card collection. At least my trading card collection. Well, I mean, okay. Ignore the one last trading cards I have. Because we're gonna hold on them right here, right? I have these. I have one more. I have another forest in a sleeve for some reason, and then I have these big magic cards. I don't know if this deck is any good. I don't think you're actually allowed to walk in and play with cards this size. And you'll notice the normal magic card versus this magic card is a